What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader. Happy Monday to you. Let us get right into it and start things off with the cryptocurrency market cap, currently sitting at almost 140 bill. What's interesting about this is the market cap really hasn't changed or dipped, but in BTC value, a lot of alts are retracing today. Nothing major, between in the single digit percentage points, most of them, if you look at it here, some of them even in the decimal percentage points. But yeah, nothing too major, especially if you've been following the trade alerts and you've seen some of the coins that we've made double digit and triple digit percentage gains on. This retracement is normal, and if you have your stop limit set up correctly or you have your trailing stop set up correctly, then you will exit the trade safely in profit. We'll go over some of those in a minute. If you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. But let us start off with Bitcoin. So looking at Bitcoin on the 1 day, it is currently forming this ascending triangle. However, the range of this ascending triangle is really tight, as you see here. The volatility is non-existent. This is stated in the MACD as well. Look how flat it is. The on-balance volume is also pretty flat. The RSI is somewhere mid-range, been the same for a while now, going back a few months. We are seeing the 50-day cross above the 100-day just about. It is wanting to converge and convincingly cross above it, but because of the low volatility and the non-existent volume, it is finding it hard to do so. Now, I just want to state that these conditions here, this is definitely ripe for a breakout if we do get the volume, right? This is typically what you see before a breakout, is these low volatility periods where the coin is undecided and it's been trading basically in the same range for months on end. In this case, since November, it's been in this pattern formation, and the volume starts dwindling, right? But as soon as we get just a little bit of injection of volume and we break out of a pattern like the ascending triangle, then momentum will start to kick in and we will see a proper rally. But obviously volume is needed, and without that, this pattern could easily break down. So for those of you that are wanting an easy answer to, are we going up or down? It really depends on the volume, and that is going to tell you the story. The crypto market is not like the stock market where prices can move independently of volume in the short term. You see that sometimes in the stock market, but volume, even in the stock market, eventually volume is needed to keep something at a high price or an inflated price. In crypto, movement depends on volume. You rarely see, or you really don't see, any significant moves without significant volume. So these conditions are ripe for a volume injection to take it above to a previous high, but without that, this pattern will break down. Looking at the weekly, there are a bit more telling signs here. The weekly is actually, if you were to judge this in isolation, you would say that the weekly looks bullish, right? We've had 5 candles in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row, and we haven't had that since April 2018. The MACD on the weekly just crossed over. The RSI is starting to climb. The on-balance volume is starting to pick up on the weekly, and you see the stochastic RSI trending upwards as well as the bounce off of the 200-day convincingly and the formation of this ascending triangle. Now, the 50 has fallen below the 100-week moving average, but I made a video on this. That's not necessarily a bad thing if you look at the history of Bitcoin. So the last time this happened, where the 50 fell below the 100, this was back in April 2015, right? And the price basically more than doubled after this event occurred. So we traded sideways for a long time. It actually didn't crash after the 50 fell below the 100, and we just kept sideways trading for over a year. And by the time that the 50 crossed back over the 100-week, the price of Bitcoin had more than doubled. So it went from 200 something to 500 something in between that range. That is very interesting. So a lot of people think that, this is indicative of some sort of death cross or mini death cross, but no, the coin could eventually trade sideways after this event happens for a long time. It doesn't mean we have to crash. And actually the pattern is somewhat bullish, right? We have this ascending triangle pattern, 5 weekly candles in a row, which hasn't happened in a very long time. And, we're bouncing off of the 200-week, which is this green convincingly. Looking at the monthly, let's see what story the monthly tells. The monthly also gives us some bullish indicators, right? So if you look at the monthly, we had 2 back-to-back green months. And Keep in mind, obviously, this month is still pending, right? We have 6 days left for this month to close. But if this can stay above 3,791, and currently the price is at 39.56, but if we could stay above 3,791, this will remain a green candle. And we haven't had back-to-back green months since, back here, since the famous bull run of 2017. So definitely a positive sign. You see that the stochastic RSI is currently oversold, right, in the same way that it was here back in 2015. You see that RSI at the same level, right, at the same level or similar level to what we saw in 2015 before it gradually started increasing. So again, what I was saying is that the conditions are ripe for a volume injection to come in and take this thing and propel it into a proper rally. Now, I'm not saying we're going to see 20,000 or even 10,000. The extent of a rally really depends on momentum and how many traders are involved in the market and how long they are willing to keep buying Bitcoin's price up, right? So the momentum could easily take you to just above a previous high, like above 4,300, or the high before that, above 6,500. But nobody can tell you the extent of a rally because predicting the momentum crowd is nearly impossible in any market. Now, you can make projections using fib extension levels and historic resistance points, etc., but those are markers at best to allow you to identify potential sell points or take profit points, right? Or where to put your stop limits. All right, let us switch to some of the trades that were given in the trade alerts. RVN is still holding strong, RavenCoin, at this 1.618 level at around 1,400 sats. This, along with BNB, has been our two top gainers in 2019. So we made 190% on RVN total. We entered at the breakout of this resistance level here. You see this blue rectangle, and rode that all the way up until around the 1 fib level. You set your trailing stop limit. Obviously, the more that you're in profit, the wider you could set your stop limit, right? So if you're up 50%, you could set a liberal stop limit of minus 10% in order not to get stopped out prematurely. It really depends on how much you're up and your risk tolerance and what your take profit goals are. I know that there are some people in the Discord, some traders that are scalpers, and they're happy with 5% or 6%, and they want to do that multiple times a day. But in this case, you could set a comfortable trailing stop limit, and then when the coin starts retracing, like it is in this manner here, you exit your position for profit, right? And then we re-entered RVN at once this started forming a bull flag here, right? Then that's why you draw patterns, is really just to identify potential entry and exit points. So once RVN broke out of this bull flag that you see here, right, because it retraced a bit, then we entered a position again. And again, you don't know the extent of a rally. In this case, we drew the fib extension, and it's gone all the way up to 1.68, which is obviously past the 1 level, and now it is finding resistance here. Obviously, our trailing stop is in place, so if it does start to retrace heavily, right, then you exit your position for profit. That way you don't manually sell and miss out on potential profits. A lot of traders say, should I sell here? Where should I sell? Well, you could set a trailing stop limit. Either do it, using something like 3 commas, or do it manually. Keep moving your stop limit as the price keeps moving up. Again, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. We sent out alerts for RavenCoin as well as BNB and a bunch of other coins. I'm just giving you a couple of examples here. 235% on BNB since we started scaling in November. Now, once you're up this comfortably, right, you're up over 200%, you can set a wide stop limit. My stop limit on BNB is minus 30%, just to give me some comfortable breathing room so I don't get stopped out prematurely. On the way up since November, BNB's only retraced 10% a couple of times. You see it here in January 2019. And you see it here in February 2019, it's retraced 10% each time, rallying significantly thereafter. These are clearly just exhaustion points where the market is exhausted of pushing this thing up, so it takes a break for a little while. And it's not even that long of a time frame. It's barely a week before it starts rallying again. BNB is definitely my strongest hold in my portfolio. I have the most money in BNB. And even though you can swing trade it, for me, it is a long-term hold. And now that you're comfortably up, you can set a wide stop limit, like I said. And I just want to pause here and say that on the Discord, apart from the trade alerts, we actually did add a service to all members, not just people who are a part of the trade alerts or any other subscription package. You'll see here that there's the CoinDesk news. So this is a bot that was set up that distributes the Coinbase articles as they come up. There is a Coin Watch based on the Crypto Index Twitter handle. There's the Coin Stocks pre-check. This is a bot where you can literally check the price of a coin. So you could say CRVN BTC on the 1-day chart on Binance, and it will spit out a chart based on what you type in. And that way, especially if you're away from your computer, you can look at the charts that way. There's also a bot that is connected to MarketWatch. So every time MarketWatch tweets an article, this is obviously mostly based on the traditional markets, that you will see the tweet in this bot. There's one for the BitMEX Rect. If you're not familiar with this, it just displays the longs and the shorts, usually the large orders that have been liquidated. And then there's the Whale Watcher Twitter account, which alerts us on movements of large crypto from wallets to exchanges and so forth. So yeah, this is a really cool section that I'm proud of, and this is available to all members of the Discord. Again, free members as well. You don't have to be a paying member to get access to this. So check that out. All right, let us move on to the traditional markets. Looking at the traditional markets, it is still quite early, but the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ, not much, just incremental changes up and down, 0.09, 0.02, and negative 0.03% on the NASDAQ. The big deal today, obviously, is the Apple event, and here we're getting a little bit of early news that Apple is set to unveil streaming service. Will reportedly offer HBO Showtime for $9.99 a month. So as Apple is shifting from the consumer market to the services market, we'll see how this plays out over the long run. In terms of stocks, and we do have trade alerts for stocks as well. That's for the diamond traders and above level. Link is in the description. But you'll see that we do have alerts for stocks as well, not just for crypto. So Aurora Cannabis, this is one of the pot stocks that we've been watching for quite a while. On the 1 day, it formed this inverse head and shoulders. We see the golden cross between the 50 and the 200. It crossed above the 100 as well. And there's a very possible retrace back to around $12. We're currently at $9.35. So Aurora Cannabis has been killing it for us. WPM, this is Wheaton Precious Metals. This is a silver mining company. We played the breakout of this resistance line that has been in place for years, right? So there's this resistance line that Wheaton Precious Metals has been trying to cross above since 2016, testing and retesting it multiple times. It finally broke out, and we played the breakout of this resistance line, and now we are up 9% since last week. And the other large long-term holding in my portfolio is UWT. This is an oil ETF. This is based on the oil prices, and once the oil ETF hit a swing low that matched a low that we saw almost 2 years ago back in June. So you see this double bottom here. We entered a position, and now we are up 18% on UWT. The 50 is about to converge with the 100, and I'm projecting that we see at least a $30 price on UWT. It is currently at $17. So yeah, if you want access to the crypto trade alerts and or the stock trade alerts, or if you want one-on-one coaching for your technical analysis, that link, it's all the same link that is in the description. If you got anything out of this video, leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have a question or a comment in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there. Peace.